Hey, this is Dale Tinsley. You're listening to the Connect podcast. Our purpose is to guide you to connect with yourself so that you can connect with others and live a life of meaning and value. Continuing the series, Connecting with Ourselves. Peace be with you. Welcome to another episode of Connect. Hope this message finds you good, in high spirits, high vibrations, self-love, self-reflection, and curiosity. Today's episode is titled Vulnerability and Courage. Two foundational blocks that we have to have. Polished, refined, and they're critical to a strong foundation that supports our authenticity, our genuineness, and who we inspire to be, the best version of ourselves. So let's get into some conversation. Let's chew on it and really get into vulnerability. So what comes to mind when you think of vulnerability? Maybe I was vulnerable and someone took advantage, or I was vulnerable and I made a bad choice. What does society think about vulnerability? Typically, vulnerability is looked at as a weakness or a sign that something could go wrong, something needs to be addressed. And in the right setting, I'd agree. If a house has a wall that's vulnerable, under that context, yeah, vulnerability, it needs to be addressed. That wall needs to be strengthened. However, today's discussion, we're going to go internal and talk about vulnerability and show the connection between vulnerability and courage. So vulnerability, let's look at it from a different perspective. If you need help and you reach out to someone, which requires us coming out of our comfort zone, right? There's a need, we can't accomplish it by ourselves, we're frustrated, or maybe we don't have a vision or a plan or even know where to begin, right? So we reach out to somebody. That's a moment of vulnerability. But to get to that point, for us to reach out on any topic, any level, we have to have a moment that takes courage. It takes courage to reach out to someone else and be vulnerable, so to speak, right? Be vulnerable and say, hey, look, I need help. Can you help me? Now, for that all to work, we need to be genuine. We need to have pure intentions. And all of that is in the self-reflection work that we do in meditation, where we connect with our higher selves, we go deep within, and we process and process and process through the reflection, through questioning ourselves, all of that internal work that we've got to do constantly to keep that connection up with God, to keep that connection with our higher selves. And it's the inventory. So we know where we are and what needs to be addressed internally. And in turn, that manifests outside of us, right? So vulnerability, we're tapping into something that's genuine within ourselves, because we all need help at some point. So what does that require? Awareness. The awareness that I'm going to have to go out on a limb here. The self-awareness tied in with that. And the self-knowledge. To come from a place of authenticity and genuineness in that moment that you're reaching out to someone. Now, a big part of this is using your energy, using observation, using frequency, using vibration, and the signs of the universe and the signs from God of who to ask. Now, sometimes you could be on the side of the road with a flat tire. You could be in a bad situation, and that moment is different than, well, I want to get into this new hobby. I want to learn something new at work, right? So, under normal circumstances, we need to know who to ask. Because if you go to the wrong person and you ask for help, the exchange, if this person is primarily operating from an egotistical state of mind, from a fixed mindset, and you're in growth mindset, right? You're trying to learn, you're trying to get into new things, and this person says, well, you don't know how to do that? Obviously I don't, because I'm coming to you for help, or guidance, or teaching, or learnings. So it's important that we're mindful and we use all the subtle cues in life to pick the right teacher. And like that old saying goes, when you start to seek and really seek, the teacher will present himself. And that takes courage. It takes courage to step out of our comfort zone and admit that we're wrong. It takes courage to step out of our comfort zone and ask for help. And life is designed that way, for all of us to come together, share information, be of service to others, honor ourselves, be genuine to ourselves, live in our authenticity. Because if you've ever been in a bind and really, really, really needed some help, that person could have been a complete stranger. And they see you, they see a genuine need. It's human nature. We want to help. A complete stranger will stop what they're doing and help you. And those are amazing moments. And that, my friends, that's the human connection. Wow, powerful, right? So, tapping in to the understanding that vulnerability is really strength. Vulnerability is pure strength because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You understand that it's okay to ask for help. You understand that that's what a team does. A team comes together, each one plays its part, and you lean on each other to play their part. And if you need a little bit of help, you have a team member right there ready and eager to step up and give you a hand. Now, when you start to cultivate that and understand these things and these dynamics and be able to pick up on the subtle cues, the synchronicities start lining up. Courage starts to get cultivated. And you start to light up with passion and purpose and really start to tap into your higher self. And it's an amazing sensation. We get glimpses of it all the time, right? When we have those days that everything's synchronized, things are flowing, everything is lining up. It's effortless as we continue to tune ourselves, tune our minds, tune our bodies, spend the time in meditation, tuning our spiritual connection, being genuine to ourselves, focusing on being genuine and authentic, seeing the difference between our fixed mindset, which is ego-based, and our growth mindset, which is limitless potential. We have to have that self-awareness and that self-knowledge by sitting in meditation, asking why, asking why, asking why. All of the answers are there. It takes that courage to truly be honest with ourselves and uncover all of the stuff that's put on top of our genuineness, to peel all the onions that weigh us down as we carry that sack of onions. Takes work, takes effort, but doesn't everything in life? Even going through the robotic movements of the day-to-day, it all takes effort. But going through those robotic movements of the day-to-day, at the end of the day, it leaves us feeling empty. Like, what's the point? We're just going to do this forever, go through these movements. Tapping into our genuineness, our authenticity, that's the work that's priceless. And it takes courage. It takes authenticity. It takes vulnerability, which is what? Pure strength. Vulnerability gets a bad rap. Vulnerability is pure strength and the ability to be transparent and just be a human being without the ego, without caring what society thinks about it. Because at the end of the day, the world can't tell you who you are. You digging deep within yourself, connecting with your authenticity, connecting to your higher self, connecting to God, that's where you find those answers. Keep doing the internal work, as it will truly make all the difference. I hope today's conversation helped open your mind and open your heart and give you a little different perspective on some words that we take for granted. Maybe gave you a little bit of some fuel for your fire, because you are limitless. Are you tapping into that untapped potential? Are you being genuine? And trust me, it's a struggle, I know, because with that authenticity, with that genuineness, comes the judgment of others. Your authenticity, your genuineness, it'll bother the ego in other people. They'll throw rocks. They'll try and throw shade on you. But you'll get to the point that you'll realize that's their problem. You're just being genuine and authentic and true to yourself. Imagine a world where we all did that. Yeah, that was a lot, right? Please go to theconnection.studio. Support the Connect family. Emotional intelligence is power. Emotional intelligence is us pausing, letting the energy of the ego pass, and reacting with our minds, reacting with our growth mindset, choosing how to react instead of reacting on autopilot. You'll find the journals there for today's episode and all of the other episodes. And the journals are designed for the deeper dive into the content, for you to get to know yourself better. Thank you for your time. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the Connection Studio. You can support us by sharing with others and posting to social media. Keep doing the internal work, as it will truly make all the difference. God bless.